his or her vote? Seeing none, the yeas are 49, the nays are 50. The amendment is not agreed to.
Mr. President.
Senator from Virginia.
Mr. President, I call up Amendment 1391 and ask that it be reported by number.
The clerk will report by number.
The senator from Virginia, Mr. Warner, for himself and Mr. Rubio, proposes an amendment number 1391 to amendment number 891.
I ask unanimous consent that there be 2 minutes equally divided.
Is there objection? None? Go ahead.
My colleagues, I believe this may be the last amendment, and it is broadly bipartisan. This amendment simply continues provisions that were included in the earlier COVID relief packages. It was called Section 3610, and it ensures that our classified government contractor workforce, a workforce that oftentimes takes many years to receive top-level security clearance, continue to get compensated through the balance of the fiscal year. Failure to do this would lose this workforce to private sector and other competitors and seriously put our national security at risk. I would point out an independent bill of this nature cleared unanimously earlier this week on this side of the aisle, and I yield the balance of my time to Senator Rubio.
The senator from Kentucky.
I yield to Senator Rubio.
Senator from Florida.
Thank you. And this is important to the intelligence community. I just ask that no one be a fly in the ointment here.
Mr. President.
The senator from Kentucky.
This amendment is an insult to every cashier at Walmart or bagger at Kroger who comes to work every day in person. This amendment is an insult to every meatpacker or waiter or waitress who comes to work every day in person. Supporters of this amendment care more about government contractors making $100,000 a year than they do about the people who serve your food. If food servers and grocery store clerks can come to work in person, I think government contractors can too. I urge a no vote.
Mr. President, I ask for the ayes and nays.
Is there a sufficient second? There appears to be. There is. The clerk will call the roll.
Ms. Baldwin. Mr. Barrasso. Mr. Bennett. Mrs. Blackburn. Mr. Blumenthal. Mr. Blunt. Mr. Booker. Mr. Bozeman. Mr. Braun. Mr. Brown. Mr. Burr. Ms. Cantwell. Mrs. Capito. Mr. Cardin. Mr. Carper. Mr. Casey. Mr. Cassidy. Ms. Collins. Mr. Coons. Mr. Cornyn. Ms. Cortez Masto. Mr. Cotton. Mr. Kramer. Mr. Crapo. Mr. Cruz. Mr. Daines.